What's going on, guys? Tendai here. Shot Clock Scribble. It's day after Christmas Day, December 26th. I'm recording this around 4:45 p.m. Pacific time over here on the West Coast in Sacramento, California. Christmas Day is officially in the books, and we got exactly what we hoped for: big moments, statement wins, and a few warning signs that teams need to address before moving forward. I picked the Knicks, Thunder, Rockets, Warriors, and the Timberwolves to win yesterday on Christmas Day. So let's walk through how my predictions held up and what we actually learned from these games. First game up is the last game of the night last night. That's Timberwolves and Nuggets, RT Thriller. The Nuggets winning this one 142 to 138. This game was absolutely nuts. RT, the Joker going crazy, showing his MVP level as he always does. Anthony Edwards getting thrown out. I mean, this game had a little bit of everything. Anthony Edwards' three late to force the game into overtime was insane. It's a superstar shot, a moment where you want the ball in your best player's hands and you trust him to make something happen. There was a play where it was a play or two right before that where Dante DiVincenzo decided to pass it to Jaden McDaniels for the easy layup. And I could see the expression on Anthony Edwards' face. How dare you not give me the ball with the game on the line here? But you know what? He got what he wanted at the very end. He got that shot off right before the buzzer ended. And I've got to be honest here too. I thought the whistle last night leaned in Denver's way. Scott Foster and his crew really disappointed me. I made a video talking about the referees versus the coaches. Absolutely bizarre. And this one was something like that as well. And I just felt like Minnesota had to fight uphill all night just to get a fair look. And Anthony Edwards driving to the hoop, not getting any calls. Now, with that being said, the Joker was still phenomenal, controlled the tempo, punished mismatches. They went through that same play, I think 2 or 3 times in OT where the Joker got the three off. And those 2 threes were the ones that absolutely, for me, after he made those, I was like, all right. And then the Timberwolves didn't really have an answer. Anthony Edwards tripping at the fans, and he had something to say for all 3 of the rest before he got off the floor. And we witnessed history last night as the Joker is in top 3 in most points scored on Christmas Day behind Bernard King, who had a 60-point, 10 rebound, 2 assists effort. Will Chamberlain, 59 points, 36 rebounds, crazy, 5 assists. And the Joker last night followed that up with 56 points, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists. This game really felt like a playoff preview. And if this matchup shows up again in April or May, buckle up, folks, because this one's going to be a roller coaster for sure. Let's move on. Second game we're going to go over here is Rockets and Lakers. Houston took control of this one. They won 119 to 96, and it went just how expected. Houston ate their dinner. The Rockets were physical, confident, and they attacked mismatches relentlessly during this game. I really like the addition of Tari Eason to the starting lineup. His energy, defense, and his ability to impact the game without needing plays called for him, that matters big time. That's where Ime and his staff, they have an advantage over some other teams is he has a versatile bench. And on any night, he can take out his pocket knife as needed and say, I gotcha. Not other teams are in that luxury. And for Tari Eason, when Kevin Durant is praising you after the game, that tells you something. That's big time respect. This game, 5 Rockets with 20 plus points shows how connected they are as a team offensively. They just dropped a couple games. They lost against the Pelicans, the Kings, and recently lost against the Clippers, teams that are not doing very good at all in the West. And this game had a lot of things to go on with it, but I think the biggest one is the Lakers are just showing that they're not ready for the big moments as far as this team and how it's constructed. That was a bad defensive game. You give up 119 points, and honestly, it's a bigger issue than just one night because it's happened multiple times. Every time the Lakers have lost, they've lost badly. And you got JJ calling out Dr. Connect about not knowing what a certain play was, these things about calling out players that are not playing to the capability. I think they're about to have practice tomorrow on Saturday. And the quote that he noted was, it's going to be uncomfortable. People are going to be uncomfortable. Let's see what happens with this Lakers team. The big decision in the offseason is going to be Austin Reeves and what you do with him, because he can certainly go get a bag. Does he still want to be behind Luka even after LeBron is gone? Another thing with these Lakers is the 3 main superstars, Luka, AR, and LeBron, just cannot defend consistently and it's going to be hard to be winning games moving forward. Talked about it in my preview as well, that those three in the lineup, it's been hard to come by seeing all those guys in the lineups because at least one of those guys has been hurt at one point or another this season. So this is something that the Lakers really have to address. And I just want JJ Redick to just be honest with himself and just stop calling players out and hold himself accountable. At the end of the day, it's your team. You're the one that's coaching. You're the one that's running the plays. Yeah, players are out there working and grinding it out, but also as a coach, you got to be accountable with the most storied franchise in NBA history here. Let's move on. Next team on the list here is the Warriors versus the Mavericks. Off night in Golden State, but they still get a dub. They win 126 to 116. No pun intended there. Steph did shoot the ball particularly well on this night. And on the other side, Anthony Davis was clearly hurt, and it took out a lot of what the Mavericks wanted to do offensively and defensively as well. And this game felt more like a survival win than just a statement for the Dubs. And every single win adds up, especially over here in the Wild Wild West. It wasn't a peak Warriors game, but hey, you got a dub out of it. So enjoy that. Hold that. Next game up here, San Antonio Spurs versus the OKC Thunder. Spurs won this one 117 to 102. They just played each other on Tuesday and they play each other again on Christmas Day. The Spurs once again showed what they're capable of doing. And honestly, I think the Thunder are starting to lose confidence a little bit. They've dropped a couple games. Let's see how they fare after this Christmas Day game here. And big shout out to De'Aaron Fox. I saw him play plenty of times here in Sacramento, so I'm really happy for him playing on the big stage on Christmas Day. He was a big difference maker within this team here. He only had 6 points when they played on Tuesday, and in this one he had 29. That's a big response there from the previous game. Wemby's impact, even in his limited minutes, I believe he only played about 25 minutes. He still finished the game with plus 13, second best on the team and in the game. That just tells you everything. The Spurs aren't just developing, they mean business right now. Let's move on. All right, let's sail off now to the East Coast, the opening game yesterday. Knicks versus Cavs. Evan Mobley's first game back from his injury, and it was and it was an exciting game from the jump. Donovan Mitchell was absolutely electric with his fiancee Coco Jones on the sidelines watching him play. Garland had a strong first half as well, but overall, there just wasn't enough production out of the Cleveland Cavaliers starting unit. And Mitchell hits the big three, which was a huge moment. But on the other end, you end up getting a OG Anunoby dunk. And that swing really mattered. I mean, they only lost by 2 points. So figure that those are the points that really start to show you like, hey, you can't switch off. The Knicks moved the ball pretty fast down the court and they got that dunk very easy there. Yeah, this one went how I thought it would go. I didn't think it would be down to the wire like that by 2 points. But at the end of the day, 3 out of 5, 60%, not too bad. Overall, I felt pretty good about my logic behind all my picks. And Christmas Day did what it always does. It exposed strengths, weaknesses, and reality for all these teams. But tell me how you're feeling out there. Which game stood out to you the most? Did any team change how you view them moving forward? Please drop your comments below. I'll be watching them like an Atlanta Hawk. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the content on here. I'm on Instagram at ShotClockScribbles and TikTok as well at ShotClockScribbles. And right here on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. And my platform is the Shot Clock Scribbles podcast. Let's